Is that okay? Plan is okay. So first I want to kind of plant a seed in your brain that the capstone is very, very important for your study and for your career. Can someone tell me what is, literally, what's a capstone? Let me see. Trevor? If you look up dictionary, what's the definition of a capstone?
A project?
No, it's not a project. Literally, what does that mean, a capstone? Not here. Okay, good. What's your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the stone they put at the top that is
That's right. You want to build a big arch, and the capstone is the last piece of stone. You put it there to make the whole structure solid. So if I do a quick Google search, say capstone, and I want to search for image, and they all look pretty bad. Let me see. Okay, so maybe. Well, these are all capstones, not that card. But the idea is this one probably is the most correct. Well, it looks pretty bad. Okay, let's just use this one. So the capstone is that middle stone in that arc. That last one stone. Before the stone, you have to put all the support structure. But once you put the stone, everything else can go, and that structure will stay. And that structure, every building block of that arc is one of the classes, one of the project. But at the end of your study here, that capstone will culminate the whole structure. Okay, so that's kind of philosophical. What is a capstone? So here we do capstone. From my observation over the last 15 years on this campus, the IT/CD capstone, being the computer science and CD, are by far the best capstone on campus. Okay. So we are really proud of that tradition. It's a very laborious process, both for you and for faculty advisor. So let me pick the brain here. Nathan, so on this campus, do you know what is a capstone? What is a capstone project?
Not exactly. Basically, it's just like a year final project, I guess.
It is a senior project, right? So Chelsea, when people outside of this campus say, "Well, I know you have the whole big hoopla about capstone project. What it is? How would you explain to them?"
It's a final project, kind of starting our transition to the real business world to show to potential companies we're going to work for what kind of work we can do.
That's pretty good. So let me define it from my perspective. It's a showcase. That's good. It's if an employer come here, we do have a lot of them come. They will kind of stay in the back. Usually we use this room, and sometimes we do use our own 118, but 118 become too small. So usually in this room, the room will be packed with parents, kids, and corporate executives. Some mom will be sobbing because they're so proud of their kid. And each one of you will come here, take about, depends on different year, 5 to 10 minutes, tell the audience this one big project that not only culminate your study here, but one of the employer back there said, "Wow, I want Bernhard to do that for my company." Okay, so the capstone hopefully is the ending of your study here, one big project in your concentration or emphasis, but also it could be a very similar project you actually would do the day after you graduate for the real company. Okay, so that's kind of the idea of the capstone. So it is a big thing. Let me tell you the basic structure. From this semester in 300, you start to think about what is the general area. Do I want to do a network capstone? Do I want to do a security? I want to develop a game. I want to do a website. I want to create an app for Android, or I want to design a software that can find a better website than the Google search. or so something in your emphasis or your concentration that can provide a real value to the world and to your future career. Okay. So you want to think about just basic domain. You don't have to know all the detail because you should know. Then it's a one-year project. So for most of you, if you study here full-time, your beginning capstone will be almost exactly a year from today. At that time, 3 weeks into your senior year, you have to already have a clear project, hopefully a client. We're not going to require that, but the idea is that you all have a client outside, or maybe a faculty deal to a client. You have one semester, in that spring semester, 2013, that's right, 2013. You have a semester to build a full proposal, probably about 20, 30 pages, analyze the product or service, look at the current market, who is already doing that, what's the need in the company or society, what is the tool you're going to use, what is the timeline you will do your capstone, and what is the kind of milestone or deliverable. Then that's the kind of the first 3 weeks you decide what you want to do. The middle, about I would say 8 weeks of that semester, is you write a proposal, you do the research, you talk to the industry, you talk to your partner if you have a group. At the end, about 3 to 4 weeks, you produce a prototype to kind of show the faculty this thing is doable. Okay? So at the end of this, the fall semester next year, you have a proposal, you have a kind of feasibility study. Then in the spring semester 2014, that's the semester, if you study full-time, that's the semester you should graduate. You have that semester to finish building the project. You put together the presentation. Usually we require a poster and a oral presentation. Then you write out a final report. Then you have an evaluation process. People will test your website, test your gadget, or evaluate your business idea. So at the end, that day, probably determined is usually the third Friday morning, or sometimes more than the morning, will be here, and you will showcase your capstone to the world. Okay? So many students, after they graduate here, 3, 4, 5 years, if you go there and say, well, what did you learn in the action script or web design? Often they will say, I don't know, I don't remember. But most of them will remember the capstone experience they had. That adrenaline, that big presentation is a crucial part of your education. So you should start thinking about what is that one project you're so excited, and actually doable, that you want to do at the end of your study. So the purpose not only to, so other people graduate from other similar programs from other universities, they have a transcript, they got GPA, they might have a small project or research paper. But here, in CST, especially in School of ITC, you have a very professional, large project. Okay. So how many hours do you need to put into that effort? So the idea is you put minimally 100 hours in the first semester to build a proposal and prototype, and another 100 hours in the second semester to actually produce the project and present it. So minimum a 200-hour effort. Usually it's about 300 to 400 hours. So it's a very substantial. An important thing for you to think about that is once you have that project in your brain, every class you take has a lot more meaning, right? Instead of saying, oh yeah, it's on the ILP, I just have to do it, I really don't know why I'm taking it, but someone told me I have to do it to graduate. But once you have a capstone, your class becomes a lot more meaningful. You say, oh, I want to take that programming data structure class because I will have to use pretty sophisticated data structure in my final app. Or you take the visual design class, okay, I have to learn all the visual, all the color theory, all the typography, so I can produce a website or an identity package for a big client. Okay. So the capstone idea, you should start thinking about now. Question about capstone? So far we want to encourage the team-based, but you can do it individually, but the team probably no more than 3 or 4. I think a perfect capstone will be, for example, a game development project, right? 2 computer science students will do the engine and do the programming, and 2 CD students will do the gameplay and do the visual. We have a few projects like that. It was wonderful. Okay? Or you have a website, you want to encourage the CD student have a sophisticated website, you want to enlist a couple of computer science students to do all the Python or PHP or Ruby on Rails program for you. So I would love to see that integration, because that's how real companies are done. Because you have to have the front end, the user interface, make it usable and pleasant. You have to have efficient back end to make it reliable and functional. So that's the capstone. Okay. So let me see. Justine, have you thought about your capstone?
I just don't know what I want to do yet. I figure it out the more I learn.
A kind of a very big domain, what would that be? Are you going to do a network security capstone? Maybe?
Maybe.
Okay, so the sooner or later you have to decide. My understanding and my experience is that it doesn't come to you. You will not sit there and one day say, wow, yes, I decided. You have to seek what you want to do. At the end, you have to decide. So might as well do it early. Dana, what do you think?
Networking and security. I'm hoping to do one in Monterey Princeton Community College. They use iLearn.
Oh,
Sometimes they get these denial of service attacks. And we never found out about it until Monday when we came in, because there's nobody in the office during the weekend. I would like something to alert us, hey, you're getting a denial of service attack and people can't log on.
That's good. That's good. So that would be a great project. You probably have a utility server in the front end to notice you or even some other authority that there is a attack. Right?
You could just do a RAID data card that will actually email him the server.
You have a partner there.
There's equipment that will just email you with RAIDs.
That's right. You can plan a little the daemon server to kind of continue updating. So people handle hundreds of servers. They have this dashboard that each server is a pixel, and if it's all green, you're happy. One of them are kind of flashing red, you know there's a problem. So there's a lot of tool already there. Okay. Let me ask one more. How about Freddie? What do you think? What do you have in your mind? What kind of capstone you want to do at the end of your study? A program, a software program, or more of a website, a program. Okay, good.
I just wanted to let people know, as you work with your professors, you'll find out a lot of the same ones for your classes. And a lot of times, if you do good in the class and they see that you're doing good, they'll throw internships your way, and a lot of times they'll have good ideas for your capstone. So as you're going through the classes, if you get to know your instructors, they provide a lot of help in order, that's from my experience anyways, in order to find different capstones that are possible.
Yeah, some of the best entry-level jobs is the company, they don't just want to advertise in Monster, or they will call computer science professor or CD professor say, I really need an outstanding student. That if you are outstanding, but you didn't engage your faculty, you didn't do a great capstone, faculty doesn't know you are that good. So the capstone is one good way to connect with your faculty. Okay. So before we conclude, any question? Leanne? Any question? You're good? Have you thought about what's your capstone?
A little bit. I think I want to make a game.
You want to make a game? What kind of game?
Maybe like an Android app or something.
On the Android?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. The game is that kind of one great software that can incorporate multiple disciplines. So I would love to see a few games. What's your name? Jacob?
Yeah. I'm interested in doing something like disaster communications, like, for example, something being able to deploy communication networks very quickly in a situation where there's nothing that, or something along those lines.
There is a open source software that's supposed to do that. I did a research, 4 years ago, and that software was done after the big tsunami in Sri Lanka. So there is a software, but I don't think it's updated. So you might want to update that software or deploy that software and do a case study. Good. So you want to think about it. Again, I want to conclude this. It doesn't come to you. You need to create that vision. Okay, you need to create the vision. The worst is that at the end of your study, you go to a professor and say, "I have no idea. Just assign me one." That's fine, but I would love you feel passionate about a project.